than it normally does, though. Hey!
And we're live. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. This is Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. I'm Kelle.
And I'm Chelle.
And I'm brain dead.
It's been a strange day, everybody.
Okay, let's get the sponsors out of the way before I forget that too. So thank you, Blue Sky Video Productions. He just informed us today that we were his favorite client. So thank you, Bruce, for all your
what we already knew. Yeah.
For your live stream produce. He does the live stream producing, and he's a YouTube strategist, and he's just an all-around awesome guy. And then Cards That Wow. You want paper? I'm just so happy.
If you want paper art, beautiful corporate branding art pieces, Kellen can do it. She really can make beautiful cards and gorgeous note cards. Go to cardsthatwow.com. You can go to her Facebook page, Cards That Wow. I don't know. What else you got? You don't have a YouTube. Do you have YouTube for Cards That Wow too?
Yes, I do. Cards That Wow YouTube. Thank you. And we keep forgetting to ask people to subscribe to our YouTube and our Facebook page. So
yes, if you could do that, that would be wonderful. And we are so glad that you are here with us. If you are watching live, please just hop in the chat and let us know that you're here and where you're watching from. And hopefully we'll have some folks join us to do that. And if you're catching the replay, we are so glad that you've done that. So again, if you could please just let us know that you are watching and put in hashtag replay. We would just love to know about you. And thank you so much for your support. We appreciate that.
We truly appreciate it. So today we're going to work on finding me a date. Is that what it is?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. We're going to work on finding all of it. Well, not all of us, but everyone who's looking for a date.
I'm not looking.
Well, sometimes they say when you're not looking, that's when it happens.
Exactly. But we are going to learn about how the corporate world forces us as women to be a lot more masculine, right? And we have an expert with us today that's going to show us how to bring back our femininity. Am I correct?
That's what she does. She is wonderful. We are so excited to have her. And she is just a doll. She looks like Barbie. It's funny because we've been together on the screen now for about 15 minutes, getting everything tweaked. And as usual, I have lighting problems where I look like this. So when Ashley was up on the screen, I told Bruce, our producer, I said, just make me look like Ashley. Could you just do that, please? You should have seen the face he made. He was about to burst into laughter because when y'all see Ashley, y'all will understand that you're not going to make me look like her.
Did he do this? I wasn't there yet. So did he do this?
He did that. He did the Bruce look, like he was trying not to laugh. He's like,
okay, I have to take a time out. My beautiful niece, Julia Fisher, is here, and I'm wearing earrings that I purchased from her online business, Julia Catherine Designs. So I wanted to give her a plug tonight.
I love them.
I love you, sweetie.
I want to get some. Is it Julia Catherine or Julie Catherine?
Julia Catherine Designs.
With a K or a C?
C. I'm going to look it up, and then I'll put it in.
Yeah, maybe we can get that in the comments as well. They are beautiful. I love them.
And they're very affordable.
Well, good. Well, and good for her for starting her own business.
Oh, she's been doing this, I think, a couple of years.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, let me tell you a little bit about who we have, a little bit more about who we have tonight with us. We have Ashley Dyer. Ashley, like I said, is just a dear. She really is. Fantastic young woman. She's from Nashville, Tennessee, and she is a feminine dating coach. Did I say that right? Yeah, feminine dating coach. And she's going to talk to us about all kinds of things. I have been excited since we first hooked up with Ashley that she was going to be here. So y'all join me in welcoming Ashley Dyer. Woo! Yay, Ashley!
Can't find it.
Oh, that was fantastic. Hi, Ashley.
Yay! That was such a beautiful little introduction with the sparkle.
Look at that. We had not seen that. Thank you, Bruce.
Theme song.
I love it. It's not the song we chose, but we couldn't afford the song we chose.
Aw, thank
We'll
you
get
so
there.
much for that lovely introduction. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. Absolutely thrilled to have you. So you are a feminine dating coach. So what is that, Ashley?
Yeah, so my passion is really supporting women in understanding masculine and feminine dynamics. And so when a lot of people hear masculine and feminine, they think about men and women, they think about gender. But really, these are just energies of creation, and they're present in all of us as human beings. And what I really love is when we understand how these masculine and feminine dynamics work, we can actually polarize ourselves to make ourselves more of a magnet for the type of partner that we want to attract.
That sounds great because we both attract not what we want.
Okay, I'm not trying to attract anybody.
Well, that's true.
I am not. I attracted many years ago. Many years ago. So I'm good. But so talk a little bit about, so how do you figure that out, Ashley? What do you do?
Yeah, so I mean, the best place to start in discovering like where you really lie is to know if you're more masculine or if you're more feminine, is to really just understand what makes you feel the most energized. So that's the best way that you can know, are you more of a masculine core or are you more of a feminine core? And so the masculine really is this energy of being direct. It's this energy of achievement. It's this energy of like going out and essentially the penetration, in a sense, like penetrating the world, right? Whereas the feminine is more this like soft, it's more about receiving, it's more about collaboration instead of competition. And the feminine is really all about expression. So one thing I really, really love to support women with is like discovering, okay, what ways do we block ourselves from expressing ourselves, like expressing how we actually feel? And what are the different beliefs that we've created about how it's not safe for us to express how we feel? Because one thing I see so often is we as women will on some level not feel like it's safe to express how we feel, and so we'll withhold. Mm-hmm. And then when we withhold, we'll end up sort of resenting the other person, and it just doesn't. It's number one. It's a sabotage pattern. So it can sabotage you from creating that initial connection with a man or creating that initial connection of the relationship. And it can also sort of go on to sabotage the relationship in the long term as well. So that's what I really love to support women with.
That's amazing.
It is. How do you get into something like that?
Well, how I got into it was just through my own personal discovery at first. Like, for me, I spent a couple years where I was really, really wanting to be in a deeply loving, committed relationship. Like, I really wanted to be with somebody that I could be, that could be like my person, like somebody that I could grow with long term, and really just like co-create a life with. And, as time persisted, it was something that I continually just went on to like struggle with, like just attracting men that didn't really want to step up, didn't really want to lead the direction of our relationship, and just didn't really ultimately, when it came down to it, they just didn't want to commit to a relationship. And so, as time went on, I was really like, okay, so I'm realizing there's this pattern of, I have this desire and it's not being fulfilled. So what's going on within me that is blocking this from being able to manifest as a part of my reality? And so that was really what the initial discovery was around. And so what it came down to was I finally got to this place where I was like, okay, enough. Like I'm tired of like dating these men that are just not the quality of the connection and the love and the relationship that I really want. And so at that point I was like, okay, I'm going to make the decision I'm going to go all in on like, I want to create a committed relationship and let me cut myself off from any other possibility. And that's sort of what like initiated this like growth journey for me. That was just a process of discovering like, what are all of my self-sabotage patterns? Like, what are all of the parts of me that get in the way and block me from being able to create this kind of depth and love and intimacy that I really want to get to experience.
Wow. Where were you 30 years ago?
Probably not born.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just breaks my heart that you say that, because at the end of the day, like, why do we as women go through so much of our lives not really like prioritizing our own fulfillment, you know? Like, that's something that's so near and dear to my heart, is I want women to be able to experience the love and the intimacy that we all, you know, deep down we really crave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, and that is right. There's nothing like that. But, you know, what happens a lot of the time, and I mean, I understand I'm preaching to the choir here, but, you know, things start out that way. But then, you know, I guess it's, you know, they say it's such hard work, and it is, but you find yourself in a rut, and then, you know, maybe kids start coming along and life just kind of, you know, gets in the way. So what do you do to prevent that?
Yeah, well, you bring up a great point, because, I mean, I really believe, like, and Tony Robbins actually says this, but like the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our relationships. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what I really love to focus on is like that beginning phase of like, how do I prepare myself as a woman to be ready to receive the quality of the man that I want to get to be in a relationship with, and the quality of the relationship that I want to get to experience. So I really love focusing on supporting women in that beginning phase. But regardless of whether you're single or you're in a relationship, I believe there's always room for growth. And when you really take on that personal responsibility of just being willing to grow and being willing to just be curious about where you feel blocked, and curious about, you know, what are the different ways that you maybe sabotage your relationship or sabotage that loving dynamic that you want to get to experience. So I believe it all comes down to that desire, and then the curiosity, which leads to the discovery.
Wow.
Okay. I had never even considered the whole sabotage factor.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's a lot of bells going on right now.
Yeah. Like one example, I've been actually for the last 3 weeks or so, I've been conducting a lot of interviews with women, because I'm going on to start a new coaching program that I'm going to be offering. And so I was like, okay, let me just go and actually have conversations with women and discover like what's really actually going on for them. And so a lot of the women that I spoke with, all of the women actually that had, you know, deep down this desire to be in a deeply loving, committed relationship, it was so interesting because they all had different variations of like what they felt was like an obstacle for them. Like for some women, it was like maybe the fear of abandonment, or like the fear of getting hurt. And so not being really, just not really feeling like it was safe to like open and reveal and be vulnerable. But at the core, was so fascinating from what I discovered from doing these interviews, was I saw a parallel between all these women that wanted this and then didn't have it. And it was that on some level, they didn't feel worthy of receiving that level of love and intimacy. They didn't feel like they were worthy of it. They felt like they were unlovable on some level.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, you know, have you dealt with women that have, like, they've been single for a long time? Because I know I've noticed I'm getting more and more set in my ways, and I'm wondering if it's going to be difficult, because I'm like, okay, this is what I like to do. This is, you know, how do you coach through that, you know, to open up their mindset, I guess?
Well, I guess first I would just start with the question of like, you know, do you want to be in a committed relationship? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, just being in discovery of like, okay, do you want to be in a committed relationship? Like, what's your vision for this relationship? Like, put the circumstances aside, like put the fears aside, just come from a place of abundance and be like, what would be amazing for you to get to create an experience when it comes to a relationship? And then once you have that, then that's what can fuel. Like once you really see what's possible, then that's when you can really start to, that thing gets to basically be the fuel for your growth and your discovery. And I mean, I really believe like it doesn't matter how long you've been single. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life, what your circumstances are. Like I believe everyone is worthy and deserving of love and of getting to experience that depth and that fulfillment in their relationships. Like, so to answer your question, I mean, I believe that it doesn't matter, you know, at what phase of life you're in. And if you have any shame around that, then that's something to also, you know, be aware of too.
Interesting. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was actually going to ask that. Does it matter, you know, at what point, you know, you are in your life? Is the approach different if you are just out of college or if you're, you know, maybe an empty nester? But I guess it's just finding out for yourself what you're looking for. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, that's a really great question. It's like someone fresh out of college versus someone who's an empty nester. Like these two women are in very different phases of their lives.
Right.
And I still believe though, at the core of every woman is this desire for that love and that intimacy. So, you know, what was that?
I just said, I believe that too. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, you know, I believe first, like clarity on what you want is really, really important. But from there, like how I recommend and how I coach women to approach dating is like dating is basically this game of gathering information. So dating is a game of gathering information. And as you're gathering this information, you have your clarity of what you know that you want. And so you're basically gathering information about the person that you're getting to know. And you're like, okay, like, do I feel like this person, you know, is aligned with me on this? And what I've noticed that women experience as they're going through this process of dating is that all of their stuff comes up. As they're dating, all their fears, all their insecurities, the feelings of feeling unworthy, like if there's a rejection that occurs, that feeling of like, you know, helplessness or whatever is there, it's like through the process of dating. I love that this just got added down here below, but it's like through the process of dating, it's really an opportunity for you to discover about yourself as you're getting to know somebody else through the act of opening yourself, practicing opening and being vulnerable with another human being.
Okay, now I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say you deal with people from college to empty nesters. If you had a daughter, at what age would you introduce this concept to her so that she could, you know, go into dating with a healthy attitude and not one of desperation or settling? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Great question.
I love that question so much. Yeah, I mean, what's at the core of my philosophy around dating is knowing, like having clarity on what you want, cultivating that belief that I am worthy of receiving this. So it's like that knowingness that like I am valuable, therefore I'm worthy of love. And then it's also the authenticity piece. Like, so it's like the clarity, the worthiness, and the authenticity are really like the core components of my philosophy around dating. And so, you know, when I do go on to have a daughter one day, which I'm so excited about, I can't wait to be a mom one day. You know, I presume that how I will go on to raise my daughter is to just instill these sort of core values into her from an early age. So it'll be like a very natural transition for her into dating, where it's just like she doesn't feel like it's wrong for her to express how she feels. She feels like, like I'm just an authentic person. I get to express, you know, how I feel. Like there's no reason to be afraid of it.
That's a good thing, you know, because what the challenges are, and especially when you have children, this whole electronic age.
Yeah.
There's like dating sites for teens, and you know, if you have a girl or a daughter who's, you know, desperate for attention, they go right, you know, it's like, oh, there's instant gratification, instant attention, and I think that teaches them to you know, not dig like you're wanting them to do, is to dig and learn more about what they want and who they want. And so it's challenging. I mean, even me, it's challenging for my daughter. So it's like,
How old's your daughter?
She's 17.
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful age.
Yeah, they will call it beautiful.
What are some of the things?
She's awesome. I just feel for her, because like it was so different, Michelle, right? When you and I were dating, it was like we talked on the telephone, we laid on our bed.
You're passing notes in the hall at school, you know, that kind of thing. There was none of this. And you know, then when you came home, I don't know, I couldn't date until I was 16. Okay?
Me either.
But you know, you could get a phone call. I couldn't get a phone call after 9,
right?
School night. But it wasn't, you know, you weren't texting, you weren't on social media. I mean, you know, there was no contact until
there were no pictures. I mean, not even just that. I'm not talking about pictures.
Just, so very dramatically different from the way it is now, because now, you know, people are together 24/7, and you know, now the whole world is you know, we're all communicating virtually, and that is something that is obviously very second nature to our kids already. So I don't know. It's just interesting to see, and I gotta say, maybe a little bit scary, you know, where it's all going. I don't know. And maybe that's the mom in me. You know, I have an 18-year-old.
No, it's scary. It is scary.
It is scary. And I believe it's like online dating. There's plenty of people that have met their person through online dating. And especially now we're living in this time of COVID, where like a lot of, you know, for a lot of people, this is really their only real avenue to getting to know people, or at least it's the main thing for them. And, you know, I'm not completely against online dating, because I believe it can work, but I believe it's so there's a couple of things. What I think is problematic about online dating is it's basically like you see somebody's profile and you have a couple of seconds to swipe right or swipe left. And it's such a limited piece of information that you get to basically put on a silver platter and present to somebody and be like, hi, do you like me? And you know, it's really sad, because I feel like what this form of dating does for a lot of people is it takes out this intuitive sense of like, just, do you actually feel attracted to somebody?
Right.
And it also takes out this like, it takes sort of like chemistry out of the equation, and it just adds a couple extra steps that you have to go through to discover if you have that with somebody. Because when you see somebody's profile, you see pictures of them and you see a short bio, and you're already making up stories about who this person is, and you're conceptualizing them. And you're basically taking this little image of somebody and you're fitting it into your framework of all of your experiences up until this point of life. And you're fitting it into what you know in your already existing belief structure. And that's very limiting. And I believe that's why a lot of people really struggle when it comes to using online dating in order to like successfully create a fulfilling relationship. Because it started off from the beginning, you were conceptualizing that person.
I got to tell you, I am glad that this is in my past. I really am. I don't know that I would be organized enough to do everything that.
I think you have to pretty much be a branding expert if you want to do online dating. I mean, you have to be a branding expert. And so not only are you, what you said, preconceptualizing in your mind, if you had a bad relationship, you look and say, what'd he do? Why is he single? Right? And you try to analyzing this person who you've never met and deciding if you're going to go right or left. Right?
Well, because when you're our age, you've got to figure that most people, now certainly not everyone, but most people who are single now have not been single their entire life. What, be
Right.
that in just a committed relationship or a marriage or two,
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any words of advice on that, Ashley? Because to Kellen's point, what did he do?
Right.
What did he do to two other women
So
decided
the wife got everything
I
in
want
the
it,
divorce. So they need you to support them.
Yeah. So it's really this, it's really like this opportunity of like what's incomplete in my past that continues to come up for me. That's actually blocking me in my own preconceived notions from being able to actually just like experience someone for who they are right now, And so that's like a big part of the work that I really love doing with women is just helping them create awareness of like, what are their beliefs about men? What are their beliefs about dating? And what are their fears? Because I believe like when we have a certain belief, I believe our thoughts and our beliefs create our reality. That's just that's my philosophy. And so I believe like reality is always reorganizing to validate what our beliefs are.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's like, if you have a belief that, a man's likely going to leave me and you're not really aware of it, then that's going to keep coming up for you as a part of your experience. And that's why you see so many women when they've not really taken that time to do that inner work and go through that journey, they end up like sort of having the same patterns of things that are coming up. And, I believe like we are fully responsible for our experience of life. Like that's just the most empowering way to go about life, I believe, is to have that belief that everything that's showing up for me, even if it's not my fault, it's my responsibility. And therefore I get to be empowered about it.
That's a great way.
Let me ask you this. This is just a totally just romantic, I guess, kind of question. Do you believe that there is one special person for everyone?
That's a great question.
I know.
Oh, I just thought of another one. Hurry up and answer.
I do. I believe in soulmates.
Like penguins, right?
What?
Like penguins.
Like penguins.
Like mate for life, yeah.
They're mates for life.
Yeah, but I mean, really, there are people who say there's one person that was, they were just made for each other. There's one, one like the love of your life, and there's, I mean, do you think that holds water? Do you think there's any truth in that?
I believe that's up to each of us to get to decide. And I definitely believe that I believe in soulmates. And I believe that, I believe people can come into our lives for a certain reason. I feel like there's so much more of it that we actually get to be responsible for and that we get to influence. So it's kind of this toss up between like how much of it's in my control and how much of it is not, right?
Right.
So, to answer your question, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if I believe if there's one person. I think that there's a lot that we get to participate in the experience.
What about love at first sight?
Oh, that's a great question. I love at first sight. Yeah, I do believe that's possible. And I also believe that, again, it's really important to gather information about the person that you're just getting to know, because so often people will fall for someone because of that passion that they experience with them right off the bat. And so they'll fall into this pattern of like imposing or projecting or fantasizing about their vision of a relationship. Like they'll fantasize it like about it with this person. And then it's like, well, like you don't actually know. You might have amazing chemistry and passion with this person, but you don't really know if this is the person that's actually aligned with what you want to create in your relationship and in your life.
So you suggest that we stalk them first?
I suggest that you get to know somebody in person or on the phone, asking them questions like about what they value, what they want to create with their life, just really like seeing like, who is this person and what are they about?
I was joking about the
Well,
stalking.
Kellen, do you believe in love at first sight, Kellen?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that probably doesn't surprise me. I absolutely do not believe in that.
Really?
No, of course not.
You
I mean,
would.
if love at first sight, we would all be with Jason Momoa. I mean, no. No.
No. Well, if I saw him first, but I didn't see him first.
Well, that's true.
He's Aquaman, right?
He is Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I like the idea of it. I think, again, it's, sounds so romantic. And so, but no, I don't believe in that. However,
Yeah.
back to what I said, I do believe that I think that there are probably several people that you can have a successful, fulfilling relationship with. And I mean fulfilling, happy, not just successful, meaning you're together till you die. That's not really what I mean. But I mean fulfilling for both parties. I think that there are probably several people that you can have that with. But I do, and maybe this is just the old-fashioned romantic in me coming out. I do think that there is probably and I like to think this, that there is just one person who that's your special someone, and you're so very blessed if that's who you end up with.
Yeah.
But I want it all. I want the penguin that I see it and have it love at first sight.
Well, I hope that's what you get, honey. I
will.
do. I want that for you too. So on a completely different note, let's talk moisturizer.
Okay, let's do it.
I always, because
I got mine ready.
I'm on a regimen.
I need a regimen. It'd be too many products for me to hold, but so should I do the reveal now?
Yeah. Let's see what you got.
So this one's kind of weird. I'm definitely the type of person, I love opting for natural options when they're available. So this is really cool. It's called cold pressed black seed oil. And
my daughter has that.
And I actually pulled something up on the internet about it beforehand. But basically they say that this could described in an ancient text as a cure for every disease except for death.
Oh, wow. Wow, we need to get gallons of that stuff. So is that something you get at Sephora or at Whole Foods?
Probably Whole Foods. I didn't buy it from Whole Foods. I bought it from Amazon.
Does it come in a keg?
Does it what?
Does it come in a keg?
Yeah. Get a vat of it.
They say so. This is an oil, just like a coconut oil, so you can put it on your skin, which I use topically. But then some people will they say that there's a lot of health benefits to actually eating, consuming a small portion of it every day. And I tried it once, and it was so disgusting that I could not do it.
And what's it called again? Black seed oil?
Black seed oil, yeah.
Do we know what the black seeds are?
They're cold pressed.
Curcumin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's really interesting. It said I have my little bit that I prepared that I found on the internet before coming here. Do you want me to read the list? Yeah. Okay. So they say the seeds are traditional Middle Eastern spice used in pastries and other foods, and for thousands of years, the oil has been applied topically and taken internally for virtually any ailment, from bruises, bad hair, colds, snake bites, to headaches, indigestion, and a variety of other conditions. And since 1965, nearly 1,000 scientific articles have been published about this. And it's documented for its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-cancer, and immune-enhancing properties.
Wow.
So it does cure everything but death. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get some of that as soon as the show's over. Okay.
It makes my skin feel nice and glowy when I wake up in the morning. I love it.
Okay.
I would use it on the pugs. Gus's nose gets really dry, and I'd have used coconut oil on it before, and it works really well. So that would probably cure his nose.
Yeah, totally. What do you use? I'm sure you've already shared it on your show here.
I just started using things.
She just started.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Ooh.
But it's working.
I think I look younger.
I think you do.
You look beautiful.
I think you do. I think you do.
It's a confidence thing. I think it's just all in your head.
Oh, see, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I feel like it's both because, even it could be the placebo effect. But at the end of the day, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'm doing something.
I like it.
No.
Okay. Do you wear eyeliner?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Is it pencil or liquid?
It's liquid.
And what kind?
Like the brand?
The brand.
I think I use a drugstore one called NYX. It's just yeah. I mean, it works for me. It's a really affordable product, but I'm like, I don't see the difference, honestly.
You know what? If you don't see the difference, then there is no difference, and you just keep saving your money and buying that.
And I'll buy more expensive things like this with it.
Right.
Well, I think if it's something that you get at Walgreens, that's great if that works for you.
Yeah.
I am not a snob when it comes to things like that.
Except you're a Sephora snob.
I don't know, maybe a little bit. I can only wear one kind of eye makeup because I have very sensitive eyes. And as you can see, I do enjoy my eye, cosmetics.
I love your eye cosmetics. It makes your eyes pop so much. Beautiful eye color, that green.
So
I love it.
yeah, I can only wear Clinique eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Clinique, which is what I wore in college, and so I cycled through 50 things, and finally got back to Clinique. But the eyeliner is Kat Von D. So,
well, my eye just got better from when I poked it from putting the eyeshadow on 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Aww.
I mean, it was watering for a week. I didn't realize makeup was so dangerous.
It can be treacherous. Proceed with care.
And apparently, like I said before, you're supposed to wear more than one color. My daughter actually did my makeup for the last show. I popped, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, she did a good job.
And your brows are fantastic today, by the way.
Mm-hmm. They're naturally.
I bought that earlier today. So anyway, you know what? We've been on for 42 minutes.
Oh, man.
Our half-hour show has gone to 42 minutes. So, Ashley, is there anything, first of all, thank you again so much for your words of wisdom.
I know, thank you.
Really some interesting things to think about. I'm going to continue to think about the whole sabotage thing. That's very interesting to me. So is there anything that you would like to leave our viewers with?
Or how you can help them, how they can find you?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, ladies, so much for having me and for asking all these thought-provoking, interesting questions and for creating the space for me to share with everyone. It's been so fun. And yeah, if anyone here is listening, the best place to connect with me is going to be through Facebook or through Instagram. I post a lot of content on my Instagram account. And at the end of the day, like if you are watching this and you're a woman and you know deep down that you have this desire to be in a deeply committed relationship with and get to experience the depth and the intimacy and the fulfillment and the love that you really crave, that's worth it at the end of the day. Give yourself permission to actually have that. And you don't want to look back at the end of your life and regret and be like, what if, So I just would love to encourage any woman that's listening that, you are worthy of love and give yourself permission to actually have what you desire.
That's great.
I love that, Ashley. Yes.
You are an inspiration. You truly
are. You are. Thank you for the work that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And guys, get your daughters. I would love, this is just such an important message. I think that we instill at them in a very young age. You are worthy and, value yourself. So thank you. And
thank you so much, ladies.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. And those of you who are there watching on the replay, we like to thank Blue Sky Video Productions again, our awesome Bruce Himmelblau, who is the king of video in my world. And by the way, did I mention that we're his favorite clients?
We are his favorite, even though he did not make me look like Ashley.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Pull that off, Bruce. Okay.
And cards that when you send them to your clients, when they open the envelope, they actually say, wow. So thanks, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Same time.
Thanks. Bye-bye.